Okay.
Folks, I'm down to 7 minutes, so I work quickly. Can we bring up the drop test? This is a drop test that Ford used to do before the Speedo standard came in, which all they needed to do was, after FMVSS, all they needed to do was meet the minimum requirement. And by the way, that's not what the law says. The court's going to make it very clear in his instruction that meeting the minimum standard does not mean there's no negligence. But they used to drop station wagons. Can you bring that up a little higher, please? It's a drop test, 4 feet. Ford used to do that. The modern station wagon is the Aerostar van. They don't drop it at all. They don't do any real-world rollover test on it. They used to drop station wagons at 4 feet, and as you can see, it used to pass. A subjective evaluation of crash film number 231 covering 17 drops indicates, look at the next sentence, Ford products retain visually acceptable passenger compartment integrity, survival space. Station wagons at 4 feet. That's one big drop, and they can do it. The Volvo documents, which Ford doesn't like, even though they own Volvo. Revised theory, dynamic deformation in rollover should be lower than the space between the head and the roof. Clearly, that's what is needed. Now, what do they tell you? What do they tell the Felipes about this is a 93 Aerostar van ad? It says that they're going to be able to also capable of providing for the comfort and safety of its occupants, big or small, on a full-time basis. Protection and safety for the occupants, big or small. They're not telling you, like Dr. Smith said, their expert, if you're over 5'2" and it rolls over with your seatbelt on, you're going to break your neck. There's no warning there. Hey, if you're 5'2", you're going to be okay. If you're over 5'2", imagine if they put this in the ad. We can protect you and your family provided you are 5'2" or shorter. How many vans would they sell? Can you run the strip for me? These are some of the demonstrative aids we had in this particular case, which speak for themselves. Run it. This is the 61 comp. Roof integrity intact. R.J. Miller brags about it. No roll bar needed. 61 comp. Next one, please. That's a Ford. Here's the RSV vehicle in the 70s. 55 mile an hour or 50 mile an hour rollover. It kept its integrity. Here's the Model T or the Model A. Ford. Watch this. Nothing. Now look at the modern Bronco using Ford's technology now. Modern technology. Really improved there, didn't we? Squish. Next one. This is the Chris study that Dr. Marth talked to us about. Look what happens at 5.5 miles an hour. Look at that. Squish. 5.5 miles an hour. That's the reasonable standard they think should apply. Next one, please. Here's what Dr. Pizziali said could not happen, could not be done. With a little strengthening of the roof, complete integrity, survival space. Next one, please. Here's what happens when you don't have that, when you don't have strength in the roof. Look at the shoulders of this dummy. He's wearing a cinch plate, locked down. The shoulders aren't moving in, the roof is moving into his head. That's a locking plate on this dummy. The roof goes into his head. Next one, please. What do we have in this particular case? This result. Is that reasonable? Is that reasonable? If it's okay to design cars like this with seatbelts you know aren't going to hold a person in place in a rollover situation, and the roof is going to deform like that, if that's okay, then fine for the defendant. Ford caused very serious injury in Julian Felipe that was totally preventable. Had the roof crush been limited to 5 inches instead of to the 11 dynamic inches that went into his cap, took away his survival space and broke his neck. And had the belt held him down just a few more inches, he wouldn't have had this instinct. Limited mobility, limited ability to walk, unable to function, bathroom problems, sexual problems, lifetime of difficulties. No matter how optimistic he tries to make it, it ain't good. What did he say about it? Bring it up, please. These are the last 2 pieces I had for him. I asked him this question. Last question I asked you. Julian, if you could get 100% of your functions back for 1 day, what would you do? Wow. Put on a pair of sandals and just walk around, I guess. I go to the park, play a pickup basketball game, jump in a pool, in and out 1,000 times, go fishing with no problems, I guess. So many things I would do, I guess I would be up the whole 24 hours. We can't do that. We can't give that to you. All we can do is compensate him for the loss. I suggest you come up with a significant amount for every day he's been hurt for the rest of his life. Make it fair. And then send a message to Ford, who apparently still doesn't get it. Didn't hear any apologies. Didn't hear any I'm sorry's. They still don't understand. Send them a message that it is not acceptable to make junk sardine cans, sell them to the public as safe cars, safe family vehicles, while crushing lives, crushing dreams, crushing bodies, crushing hopes. It's not right. Award 3 to 5 times the compensatory damages to send them that message. Maybe they'll listen to you. Thank you.